Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Miriam Manzo. Today we're talking design rules, part 2. We're looking at carpets today, the sizes, the materials, the styles, and what you should and shouldn't be doing. It seems that everyone has questions about carpets, and it's one of the things that seem to stump you the most. So let's dive in and take a look at how I make selections for my projects. So what are the things that one should ask themselves when looking for carpets? There's going to be style. We've talked about this in the past. How do you know what style lends itself best to the look that you're looking for? Obviously, size is the one that stumps you the most. How to spec or order the correct size for the space. And then we want to look at the materials they're made of so that you're making the best selection based on your knowledge of how that room is being used and what that carpet has to endure. Before we dive too deep into today's lesson, let's go back and refresh what we did in design rules, where we talked about lighting a room and how to properly know what your wattages should be and how to light a room in layers. In that video, you heard me talk about Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that I am absolutely in love with. It's a fabulous resource for learning, a place for creatives to go and to really dive deep into learning so many different skills. You know, being a creative is a wonderful thing, and I'm so proud to be part of a creative community. And what I love most about the creative community is the fact that we all understand that creativity is not absolute. I remember getting a mark in English once where my teacher told me that English was a subjective subject, meaning there was no perfect paper that could be written. And being a creative is very much like that. As much as we know, there is always so much more to learn. And as a creative, I absolutely love listening to other creatives talk and actually listening to what they're saying as it spurs my own creativity. This is why I love Skillshare. There are so many different subjects, whether or not they have to do with the business at hand, or whether you are someone who just dabbles in creativity or are a beginner. There is so much to learn. And what I love most about it is that the people who are teaching it are actually professionals in their field. So it's incredible to get insight from other people who are your peers and people who inspire you. Case in point, one of my recent viewings was Hollywood Chic on a Human Budget by interior designer Mikkel Welch. What I loved most about this video was, although Mikkel is doing homes for stars and the elite, he uses humble materials such as the barn board seen here and makes them look not only ultra chic but luxurious too. And he does it in a way that provides a way for people on the smallest of budgets to get a taste of what he offers to his high-end clients. To me, amazing that this is being offered to you for 1 month. To the first 1,000 subscribers, you will get 1 month absolutely free. This is an incredible offer. I would not hesitate to join and see what this online community has to offer. The way the lessons are set up, they are broken down into parts, and it allows you time between the lessons to really reflect on what was said and to even go back and re-listen to that segment again so that you can really be sure that you're understanding the concept. And many of the classes give you tasks to do. So this way you really ensure that you've understood the concept that was being taught. Again, I encourage you to quickly, the first 1,000 subscribers, to follow the link, subscribe to Skillshare. You will not regret it. Now, let's dive into carpet basics. The first consideration when selecting your rug should be style. You have to understand what style you're most attracted to and what the look is that you're going for. So, for example, if you're looking for a more traditional style in a traditional room, then you're probably going to be selecting a vintage or Persian style rug. If the look you're going for is more contemporary or modern, you'll probably be looking at stripes, geometrics, or bold patterns. Now, maybe bohemian is more your thing, so you're probably going to be looking for a more natural rug, a sisal or a jute perhaps. And maybe what you want is eclectic. Well, then a cowhide would most likely fit that bill. Your next consideration will be the color palette. Are you looking for a warmer palette rug? So the warm grays, the sunset oranges, golds, beige. Are you looking for a cooler palette? Then you're going to be going more towards blues perhaps. And then if you're looking for something neutral, this is where now you're looking more for texture as well as the neutrality. So the texture is what will give your neutral rug interest. Now, in order to create a cohesive design, your rug really needs to speak to the other elements in the room. So, for example, some people start the design process with the rug. They choose whether they're using a pattern or they choose a specific color, and then they bring the other elements of the room back to the rug. Other people choose the other elements of the room, for example, the drapes, the sofa, the pillows, even the art, and then they choose the rug based on their other selection. Now, there isn't really a right or wrong way to do this. It really depends on whether or not you've, for example, fallen in love with a piece of art, or maybe you fell in love with a carpet and want to design the room around that. At MMI, we typically start the fabrics in the room first, our drapes, our couch, and then we bring in the pillows. And the rug is actually one of the last items we select to work with everything else. Now, if a bold patterned rug is really what catches your eye, then that is where you should start, because depending on the scale of that pattern, you're going to want to marry the other elements in your room, for example, your pillow fabrics, to that scale. So you're going to be choosing something that's either smaller in scale than the rug pattern or larger. So again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It just depends, who do you want to be the star? We've talked about that before. Will it be your carpet, or will it be your artwork or your drapes, and the carpet is going to be a supporting character? Next consideration when selecting your rug is going to be where they are being used, the wear and tear, and the traffic patterns, and then also the look that you want, because different materials are going to give you a different look. So let's start with the most luxurious, our wools and silks. These are expensive, but their beauty is really unmatched. They are incredibly durable, but they do not clean well. They are going to absorb spills and natural wear and tear dirt from shoes and dirty feet. They, however, give you such a luxury look, and in more formal rooms, this is really where I suggest you go with the material choice. The next one is a more casual type rug. So this is still a natural fiber, a jute or a sisal. They are incredibly hard wearing, great for high traffic areas, great for cottages. They are inexpensive, not easily cleaned, however. They are basically, once they're done, you replace them. And they do not hold up well to water at all. So spills are going to be a problem with these natural fibers found in sisals or jutes. Our next option is a polyester. Now, these are great for lower traffic areas. They're inexpensive, they're incredibly soft, they probably feel the most like wool. However, they are easily flattened. What happens with a polyester is if you're using it in, for example, a family room where there's a lot of foot traffic in front of your couch, eventually those fibers are going to flatten down, and what happens is they look very dirty very quickly because you wind up seeing the gray undertone of the binding of the carpet. They do have their good points, however, as they are very stain resistant, but again, don't do well with water as they stiffen up. Our next option is a synthetic rug. Now, these are not as soft as polyester or wool, but they are incredibly durable. This is the material of choice in high traffic areas, places like your carpeting on your stairs, so stair runners, family rooms, anywhere where there's a lot of traffic, kids, pets, stains. This is the material of choice. It is made to be stain and water resistant for the most part. They are not that expensive. They last a long time, available in all sizes, and for what you're getting, they are quite inexpensive compared to our natural wools and silks. However, on their own as a material, they are not as luxurious as a wool and silk, but these days there are plenty of options that marry the synthetic with the natural fibers to really up the luxury quotient while giving you a rug that will perform well. And the final category is one of my favorites. You've seen it in many of my projects, and it is hides. These are one of my favorite carpets to lay down as they really transcend all styles. I usually use them as a cowhide where it's a very organic shape. They can come in area rugs, and with these area rugs, really remember you get what you pay for. The higher the price tag, the better the quality. Now, I've been asked, how can there be a difference in quality between one cow and another? It is not the cow itself that's giving you the quality. It is how the product is being treated, the processes it goes through to get it so that it has that softness that you're looking for, as well as not having a scent of dairy because it wasn't treated the right way. The only caveat with cowhides that I caution you is they do not do well with water, particularly the lesser expensive ones. So they should not be in an area that's going to see a lot of foot traffic from rain and snow. But other than that, they are beautiful in any room, in any style. The final piece of the puzzle when selecting carpets is size. This is the question I get asked the most. How do I select the correct size for my space? Now, let's break down carpet into two areas, two categories. We have area rugs, which come in specific sizes. So typical sizes for store-bought area rugs would be from the smallest, 3x5, 4x6, 5x7, 8x10, occasionally 7x9, 10x12, occasionally 10x13, 11x14, and 12x15. These are the most common area rug sizes. If you go on Wayfair, this is what you're going to find most carpets are offered in when available in many sizes. So, the next category would be your broadlooms. So these are carpets that most people think of as being a wall-to-wall product, and they don't really consider looking for carpets in that area rug, in that carpeting category of broadloom. Now, why I love broadloom, on top of the fact that it comes in so many styles, colors, and materials that really it's impossible that you won't find something that you'll love in that broadloom category. The beauty of broadloom is that it can be cut to size. So the typical roll is available as 15 feet wide. So as long as your dimensions have a maximum length or a maximum width of 15 feet, then this is a great option for you. Now let's talk about how to size them. So let's start in the dining room. I like to see a minimum of 2.5 feet larger than the table that you are placing the rug under. The reason for that 2.5 feet is that you want to make sure that when someone pulls the chair out, the chair still sits on carpeting so that there's not that awkward moment of the back legs are off the carpet and the front legs are on it, which does not create a very good stability for the chair. If we go to the family room, a lot of designers will tell you that as long as the front two legs of your sofa are on the area rug, then that would work for your size. I personally don't agree with this, and I'll tell you why. Once you go to place a side table next to that couch, depending on the size of your side table, you may now get into a scenario where the front legs of the side table are on the carpet, but the back legs are not, and now you have an uneven surface for putting down your cup of coffee. My preference is to do the entire room, and I usually suggest to leave a border of about 12 to 14 inches of actual wood flooring showing underneath your carpeting. Now, if you decide not to do that, because I know I've been told, why throw a carpeting on after I've spent the money for wood, then my next suggestion would be to carry your carpeting under all the furniture with a border of about 4 to 6 inches extra behind your couch and other pieces of furniture. If you have a console table behind the couch, then allow that to sit on the carpet. So next would be for bedrooms. Now, there are lots of rules that you can find on the internet about what the best size carpet is for the size of the room. Here's how I like to do it. If you're going to be putting carpeting in your bedroom, it's probably because you want to be waking up and placing your feet on something warm and soft as opposed to the cool hardwood. So I like the width of my carpeting to be the same as the width of one end of my nightstand with the bed to the other end. So for example, if I have a king size headboard, which is about 90 inches wide, and my nightstands are 30 inches wide each, that means my carpeting is going to be no less than 150 inches. This way it sits directly in front of the nightstand by a couple of inches, and it spans the entire width of that furniture. And then I like to have at least 3 feet minimum in front of the bed, or if you have a bench in front of your bed, then you would have 3 feet in front of the bench. The reason for this is you don't want to have a scenario where you have a foot of carpeting showing and you feel like, depending on where you walk, you may have 1 foot walking on carpeting and the other on floor. So by giving that 3 feet, it allows you to feel comfortable about walking on the carpet without feeling like you're going to be unbalanced. I hope some of your questions were answered in today's Design Rules Talk. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified of our future videos, and like and comment. We'd love to know if you have questions and if there's anything you'd like answered or what you'd like to see from us on future videos. I'm Miriam Manzo. Thanks for watching.